Ladies and gentlemen out there, Tim Hollenshade with CABA again. This time I have a really special guest. So Issac, one of the longest, greatest supporters of CABA is your organization, Brooks-Huff Goodyear Stores. Doug Meekins, past president, brought me into CABA. I couldn't thank him enough. Anyway, super solid shop. You guys are at how many locations?
7.
The 7 locations. You guys see it all. This is why I really wanted to get. And Issac isn't, he's not the service manager in the front. You're in the bays, elbows deep, in it as hard as anybody else. So you and I share a lot of battle stories as we fight, some crazy cars. What do you think? COVID, it struck. We've been there the whole time. What was your take on COVID from a technician perspective?
Obviously, it put a big damper on business. Like anything else, eventually we'll get through it, or we're getting through it. Seeing people return back to work and school will definitely be helpful to our business.
Back to traveling.
Yeah.
So one we talked about is this has been very different since the auto crisis, which you and I are similar ages, so we kind of were. So in the financial crisis, post 2010 or so, there was still a large inventory of new cars. We don't have that right now.
Right.
So that's made really different. So you and I have kind of talked a lot through COVID over some of the larger jobs that our organizations have been tackling. So
people are definitely putting money into used cars. There's a lot less used cars than there used to be because people are picking them up as quick as they can. People are definitely sinking money into them. They don't want a payment because a lot of people aren't working. So they're trying to, repair those vehicles they do have or get used vehicles.
So we've also seen some unique challenges that COVID presented when people aren't using vehicles. Different problems arise. So I think, have you guys seen a little bit of change to the makeup of the services you're doing? We started doing significantly more, 30% more like radiators, a lot more like caliper type work, or hung up brakes, anything like that you feel might have changed a little bit?
A lot of the vehicle hasn't been used in a while due to neglect. People not getting out and not driving to work, not taking their kids to school. So a lot of seized up brakes, stuff like that. Battery concerns, that kind of thing.
Let's stay on the sponsor tonight. We couldn't thank enough. You and I are both. We share Brad, who joined us for another segment over there. We're big believers in the fluid services, the upper intake, fuels, BG products. A strong supporter of CABA. Where are you at with there? What do you want to share with? We've talked about the dashboard, which I'm sure you have a login for. Yeah. We just got the MVP coolant machine. You and I, you do a lot of misfire drivability stuff, so the carbon valves is a big, the GDI. Go ahead, what is your take on, what would you like to share about your experiences with BG products?
I'm pretty excited to try out the deep engine clean.
Okay.
To try that out.
Dynamic engine restoration.
Yeah, the dynamic engine restoration kit.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So, we've seen a few that could benefit from that. Unfortunately, sometimes the vehicle isn't worth the service, but really like to try that out.
All right. Let's see. Last, what to leave you with. You do a lot of like high-end electrical diagnosis and everything like that. So where do you see it going? We're on the heels here. Everybody talking about a global chip shortage for new vehicles. You and I see the failed modules with it. The modules are sitting on both sides of the circuit now. So shorted out components can fry modules. Where do you see? Do you see things getting better, worse? How does it change your diagnostic approach, maybe?
Well, as a industry as a whole, they really have to get the new technicians in, because the ones that are going out aren't really being replaced.
Not to their level of professional acumen.
Right.
So we have some very experienced people.
And the business has changed so much towards the electrical side that a lot of the older guys that are going out, they had the mechanical aptitude, but now it's mechanical and it's electrical, and it's heavier into electrical than it is mechanical. So a lot of focus into that has to be brought out, which I'm sure is going on at CCBC. Just
That's true. We're both alumni of a very solid program here, and there's plenty of segments of myself and Greg and Paul. Community College of Baltimore County, Catonsville campus has a top tier program here. It supports hundreds and hundreds of technicians a year. You and I are both products of that. How about the program? What do you see? Have you been over there lately?
I haven't been over there lately, no. I know when I entered, I was as green as they come. I couldn't set tire pressure, and it took me from that to where I am now, which is master level status and state inspector, and being able to afford to put a roof over my head comfortably. And so
You're going to hear a lot more at CABA and the CCBC. We're like a partnership on the state inspector crash course.
Right.
We have some video of Greg and I talking about that, but that's something that we're going to grow, and it's good to hear you say something about that. Well, guys, Isaac, Brooks-Huff Goodyear stores here in Baltimore, Maryland, Tim Hollenshade. Isaac, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Take it easy, guys.